You could find this type of locomotive in switching service, passenger service, freight service, any kind of service they could use it. It has a diesel engine in that long hood at the back that develops 1,500 horsepower, which then makes electricity, which is fed to traction motors on each axle, which makes the locomotive go. Hence why it is known as a diesel electric. Most people just call them a diesel, but technically it's a diesel electric. Early on, there were some locomotives that were direct drive diesel, especially in Europe they tried some, but those did not really work out, so they went to diesel electric. Now this locomotive ran for the U.S. Army at the Holston Ammunition Plant in Kingsport, Tennessee. It was then obtained at TVRM as Army surplus for only $250 as one of 3 such locomotives that we purchased. There's that dip right there, so we can begin turning. If you'll give a wave to our engineer, Mr. Jim Olson, he's running the locomotive today. Now we'll spin all the way around on this turntable just like they would have done in 1916, all part of the railroad experience that we're preserving here. We came in on track 1 and dropped off our coaches. We'll then spin all the way around past track 1 onto track 2. And the locomotive will come off the table, run down to the other end of the yard. They'll flip a switch, and then it'll back up onto track 1, what's known as running rounds. So what was the first car on the way here will be the trailing car on the way back, and what was the last car on the way here will be the first car on the way back. Promise it's going to look like they're going down and leaving us, but they're not. Now, as you look at the other side of the locomotive as it comes around, you'll see a large horn on the long hood. We call this the cow horn or the fog horn. That is a traditional 1950s passenger horn, technically called a typhoon horn, or typhoon horn, depending on how you want to phrase that. The horns we hear today on diesel locomotives were considered too jarring to have been used on overnight passenger trains with Pullman cars and the likes, so they had horns like that made a very deep rumbling, like a mooing sound or something. Hence why there's one on this locomotive, since it is a general purpose engine. Now as we come around up to track 2 here, we're going to line it up just like they would have done in 1916, with eyesight. No fancy lasers, no electrics, none of that. All done with eyesight and precision timing. We're lined up. I'm going to step off, then we'll let the locomotive come off. We'll let them come off the turntable and sit here, and then we'll come across the crossing and head over to our repair shop.